Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your Farming Simulator 17 mod spotlight. Now earlier in the week I had a look at the 135 and 240 pack and I said I've got something that I think might be usable with the 135. I think I found this. Now this was released I think on Monday. It's the Agromet Lej, L-E-J, however that's supposed to be pronounced. It is Eastern European. 12 meter fertilizer spreader with a capacity of 500 liters, can go 20 kilometers an hour. Now that's pretty much as fast as the 135 can go. Now if I go into the pallets section here and just get a solid fertilizer big bag real quick, I can go over here and get the 135 out of my hiding place, where it totally hasn't been for any other video, because I've just finished the 135 review. Let's see if we have any luck with this. Now this is all with standard physics. I don't have MR on like I usually do, and ooh, that looks a bit big maybe. This might not go as planned. But let's fill it up and see what happens. The rear of the tractor's hunkered down, but oh look, we do have some drivability here. Now the rear tires are kind of squished, the front tires look a bit eager to get off the ground, so let's just go over a bump or two here. This is going to be the deciding bump. Is it gonna... It's not going to pop a wheelie. I may have found something you can use the 135 for, which is very interesting. So let's get this fertilizing. It does work. It does actually fertilize at 20 kilometers an hour, which is pretty much top speed. But we're not talking about the 135 today, are we? We're talking about the Agromet. So let's have a look at this thing at work. It does have the single spinner that you'd kind of expect. The sound doesn't quite match because it is, it sounds more like a kind of a shaker spreader, which kind of does take away a small bit. But maybe there's a little shaker inside that's, you know, putting the fertilizer down. The model is very basic. You know, it's a cone perched atop a 3-point hitch, with some small bits of motorization and a PTO just kind of shoved in there for workability. Now, is this anything like what it would be in real life? I'm gonna say probably. Also, I just noticed that the fertilizer use is basically 0. This is kind of entertaining. Now, what kind of farms do you use this thing on? Because, I mean, it is a very... You know, it's a low-capacity spreader. It's 500 liters at most. That's the capacity of it. You know, how would you even use this thing? And I would say... If you got a small farm, you're going to want to have small tractors, and you're going to want to have small equipment. Something like... maybe Skeleton, which... I know it wasn't released yet, but I've been looking at that as well recently. Courtesy of Mapper's Paradise giving it to me already. Skeleton would be a very good map for this. I've heard Ballincraig is quite small. That's a map I'm not going to really look at. I don't like looking at Irish maps because they always feel like a letdown to me. I always feel like they let me down one way or another. But small maps like that, like what small maps have been released that I've played? Old Streams would be a good fit for this kind of equipment. You know, you pair this up with the little 2.5 meter Lely I was looking at the other day, with something like the 135 or even the 240 or something a bit bigger as well. You know, you could definitely use this on the Hurleyman. Bring this back now to the shop so that I can detach it like that and have a better look at the piece of equipment itself. Just want to see if there's any issues with textures or modeling. Now it is very shiny, and that's down to the cube map and specular. I'm gonna slow down the walking speed a bit more. There we go. Are there any like major problems with the model? Maybe, you know, that shouldn't be clipping through there where it is. I'll get the dirt skin up fully in a minute. You know, maybe there's bits that are clipping through places that they shouldn't be. Maybe there's a couple of minor texture issues, but it's very hard to see texture issues on something that is effectively 3 colors. Yeah, this is a very easy mod to make. Relatively speaking, I know that there's animations and functions and triggers and whatnot, but in essence, when you boil it down to it, it's, you know, 3 textures, pretty much. A red bit, a silver bit, and a yellow bit. And that's it. You know, it's, in terms of texturing, there's not much that can go wrong. And that's the fairest I can be to the mod author here. You know, it's basic because I would imagine the real life version is very basic. It is Eastern European. I think Agromet are based in, I'm going to be wrong here, but somewhere in between the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Slovenia. I'm just going to raise this up again because, I mean, just look, there's a silver bit in between the red bit and the yellow bit. At the back of the yellow bit, there's more red bit. You know, it's very, very basic. I actually want this attached to the 135 again. Hang on. Because what I can do is I've got creator tools installed. Let's get this thing fully dirty and see what the dirt skin is. Do you know what? That makes sense. Normally I complain about the dirt skin being just luminous white, but there is a reason I am fine with this. And the simple reason is, if you look at this, it is luminous white. If I go and just tip this up a bit, you can see, hang on, there's luminous white stuff inside there already. When it's clean, that's the fertilizer. Yes, the dirt skin is fertilizer, which in real life, a fertilizer spreader would not get dirty with brown. It would more than likely get dirty with bits of fertilizer that maybe have been dissolved in water a bit and, you know, aren't looking the best. Now, if I go into the shop again, I'll show off what this thing has and comes with. Fertilizer spreaders here. So it costs 2,400. It's basically free. You know, it's very small. It's very cheap. You can get a trailer hitch on the back so you can pull your, you know, trailer with some fertilizer in it if you want to refill and to go. Now, I did get this in the default colors of yellow and red, but if you really want to, you can get a purple and blue version as well, which will probably look atrocious. Yes, it does. But, you know, the main bits, the yellow bit and the red bit, can be changed to whatever color you want. So if you want a, let's say you want this in John Deere colors. So let's go John Deere green and yellow. Actually, it should be, yeah, it'll be the other way around, wouldn't it? So let's go for John Deere kind of spec one. And there you go. You got a kind of a vague semblance of a John Deere. Let's say you want Massey Ferguson. So that'd be red and, well, red. Well, there you go. You get your Massey Ferguson spreader. You get whatever color combination you want within the game. You can even make up your own defaults by changing XMLs, and you know, you can end up with the exact spreader you want based on this one basic design that can just be repainted. Now, I don't know if that's realistic that the Agromet would allow you to repaint this thing whatever color you want, but let's just say you've got a few cans of paint laying around and you want to freshen up the fertilizer spreader a bit. Now, one thing that I maybe don't like as much, if I just clip into the ground here, is that there doesn't seem to be... yeah, there doesn't seem to be any outlet for the actual fertilizer to come out in there. Which is a bit of an issue, yes. And that's the only real modelling issue I can see. Yeah, like, yes, you can see the rough edges, but again, as I was saying with the John Deere's on Tuesday, they kind of get blended in by the normals, and it's smart use of normals kind of covers up the roughness, and at a distance, which I'm looking at the purple one, purple and blue one here, you can kind of see that it's mostly smooth-ish, roughly. Like, yes, you can still see that there's a bit of a point here and there, but it's mostly smoothish, and it kind of covers up the rough edges. Now, you can also see that there's a bit of warping going on because the cube map is a bit wonky with the fact that this is a cone. But again, you know, that's more a case of the model is a cone and the cube map doesn't know what to do, so it just does what it can. Would I recommend this? Yes, if you want to use this on a small farm. For larger farms, obviously not. You know, you're going to want bigger equipment than this. But overall, I think it's quite nice. I'm going to leave it here, though. I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching your Farming Simulator 17 Mod Spotlight. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.